Hello. Hi, hello. Uh, more hackmud. I have a problem. Hey, Raven. Hey, Resonate. Welcome in, both of you. Welcome in. Oh boy. Okay. All right. So hackmud. So Saturday was the last time we did some hackmud. Suppin' sauce. So on Saturday. So what's up right now is I'm getting destroyed by tier 3. It's just absolutely ravaging me. On Saturday, we made a tiny bit of progress, and then not too much. Still no locations. Well, I think we saw one player location, but it looked like kind of more incidental than purposeful. And then I continued to do work periodically throughout the day. On Saturday, I would like go and get some errands done, come back, do some more work. I was just touching up a little bit on the scraping so that I can do some more scraping. Got the script to the point where it can go through all of the calendar entries for a user and all of the reviews for a user and attempt to decrypt and decode them, and I can't get shit out of it. Can't get shit. I don't know what is going on. I think I'm missing a step. I think there's one final step to the decoding that needs to happen, and this may go back to theories that some people in chat have had, that these junk or garbage entries in the secret script aren't garbage. It's like a third type of thing that can exist in there that we have to figure out how to decrypt or whatever, and we have to apply that. So all the work that we've done is not enough, and I can't figure out what that is. It's driving me crazy. I'm also having a low mana day, otherwise known as a bad ADHD day, or a low or no spoon day, or whatever your terminology may be. So I'm having some, I might have some trouble focusing. If that's the case, just let me know. We'll try to get something accomplished. If I can get just one thing, one clue figured out or something today, then that will be that will be a win for me. I'll consider that a win. All right. I got this. Thank you, Resonate. I appreciate the encouragement and the belief, your belief in me. All right. So I think so an important thing that I decided needed to be done is I hashed these image JPEG strings. So this is our way of detecting if there is a new passphrase hint image in a secret script. And it also lists out any passphrase pictures that it may find, JPEGs anyway, because maybe there's another type of image in there or something, but it'll also list out any that it detects. And instead of storing these massive JPEG strings, some of them are like 14K or whatever, I'm storing them as a hash. I think I have code in my Deshawn. Yeah, so I have a hash code of that I does some bit shifting crap. I stole this off of whatever. I'm not going to write my own hashing. So I stole this off like Stack Exchange or something. It was just like how to hash in JavaScript. So this will, for those of you who don't know what hashing is, so hashing is a way of taking a big string of characters, and you perform a bunch of math on it to turn it into an approximately unique number that represents that particular arrangement of letters and numbers. So most of the time, if you have like if we have this big string here, a medium black dog, our medium black dog string, and you have another medium black dog string over here, instead of comparing the huge amount of letters to each other and then having to also store this in the script, you can do the math on it and it should turn into the same predictable number. So that way we only have to store the number that medium black dog comes out to using that formula. And then when we get another big image in the secret script, we perform the math on it and see if it's the same number. And if it is, we consider that a match. And that's essentially what hashing is. It's like your crash course for hashing, if you didn't know what that was. So this is what I hashed all of the pictures to. So next to each one, I have either confirmed or unconfirmed, and these are the pictures we've come across so far. So confirmed ones means that we have seen this be an accepted passphrase on the reviews for a user. So I know that that medium black dog picture is that's medium black dog. There are a couple here, large blue ball. I actually found, I think we saw two pictures. We saw one where it had a background of like a red garage door, and another one where it seemed to be floating on water. From my understanding, what I've been able to test is both of those are a large blue ball. And then we have a bunch of the houses. I think medium green house was the only one that we have confirmed. I saw like a small blue smart car on Saturday after the stream. And then there are a bunch of houses that we couldn't figure out, and that doesn't necessarily mean, oh yeah, and I saw another picture of a blue ball, I guess, here. So, and I saw a medium white dog, and none of these we've been able to confirm yet against an actual script. So we're just kind of collecting them right now, and I'm not entirely sure when we're going to stop. I don't know how many of those pictures there may be. There might be a lot of them. All right. So the scraping. So we have scraping here. We have a section of scraping that will go through the backup script processing. That will ideally give us a list of images. I'm not sure what I should look at first. If I should look at trying to figure out some more of these images, or if I should focus on trying to find out what these garbage results are in the backup script. I think I'm going to start with the garbage. I think we're going to go and take a look at some of these garbage entries, and knowing what we know now about looking for JPEGs, having it start with a certain amount of plain text, it might serve us to store some of these results somewhere and just take a look at them with our eyes and see if we notice, like how with the JPEGs we get a /9j/ at the start of each one. If maybe we can see a similar pattern showing up in these other ones. But I think the big problem is without this like known plain text, it could get kind of tough to figure out what it is exactly. But we have got a bunch of stuff inside Deshawn where we can like do things in reverse to detect algorithms and things like that. So maybe we'll just try a little bit of magic and see what we've got. So let's head over here. I'm going to make sure that I have the latest version of our tier 3 scraping script up here. And then we'll go and scrape one of these corporations. So this one's 36 minutes, so that's good. I can just type that one in. Stupid. Inside your tier 3 scrape, our target is going to be core.prev. No continuation token. Not tur, but not tur. True. Tour. All right, and we will let this go, and hopefully we don't have to wait till like 9,000. I saw one that the pin was like 8,900 something. It took like I don't know, like 4 minutes to get that pin. That was rough. You can all look at my comically large tea mug in the meantime. Supersized mug. No, it's not close to the camera. This is right beside my head. This is the actual size of my mug. That has tea in it. Peppermint tea, because I have a sore tummy. So it's full of blisteringly hot peppermint tea, so it's probably going to be very hot. Yeah, very hot. Massive mug. I'm going to open this up and get ready for some images. What was that Guru one? Base 64 Guru. We'll get that up here. And we'll get Cyber Chef maybe up here for some B64 stuff. So long, and thanks for all the fish. That must be a demo thing. And I'm going to remember to minimize that stupid browser every time that I use it. I'm going to remember. Ugh. I'm getting to the point where I might have to, for the sake of my own sanity, start working on something else for a little bit. It's funny because I have been working on this for weeks and I haven't cracked it yet. But I'm only putting in like 5 hours a week. I have had very little time for video games the last couple weeks. So like the stream has been probably like 80 or 90% of my gaming time throughout the week has been on stream. I feel like this would be something if I just like, I don't know. It's hard to say because like I sat down on Saturday and just like smashed my head into it over and over and didn't really get anywhere. So maybe the time in between is helping me kind of, I don't know. I might just also be at the point where I need another hint. That I just need a straight hint. What is a hint? What is it about these other secret script entries, or what am I missing from from the rest of the Sean encryption stuff that I'm missing for the reviews or the calendar entries that do not decode into anything meaningful. So we'll see. I might just have to beg for help somewhere. Or I could look through pinned messages and stuff on Discord. Maybe there's something there that I haven't really looked at any of the pinned messages on the official Discord, so it's possible I just missed something. Okay. So there is our backup script. So we'll go and use this. Okay. So I should be able to scrape this without having to do anything myself. I think I do it like this. Is that how I do it? I don't remember how I do it. Yes. Okay. So it gave me a decryption key and no possible passphrases. So that means that this is the only image that it located. And it didn't have it hashed already. So we can start by taking this. So if I flush this and go and load it in Notepad here. Bear with me while I do so. Hackmud shell should be right at the bottom here. All right, I'm going to take this thing. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in Deshaun as a new one that we don't know what it is yet. We're going to do this so that we can keep it as our hash when we go to do that. And then I'll also paste it in here and we'll see. I want base 64 to image. Paste that. So this is medium greenhouse again. Now that's interesting because medium greenhouse I thought we already had. So this may be similar to what I had in one of these other things. And that is it's an alternate image for the same thing. Yeah, see, it's longer. I'm going to just make sure that this first one I had here is actually the same image. It is, so I'm not crazy. So, yeah, so there's like 2 different images. This is 223 by 147. What was the other one? 223 by 147. Yeah, so it's like, it's slightly larger. A larger resolution, and that's why the string was a bit larger, but it's the same image. Oh, God, what a fucking pain. All right, so... God damn it. All right. So we're going to hash this one also. Up. Oh, I got to unvault my stuff. I got to up Deshaun here. And then Deshaun should give me the hash code for this image. And I'm going to put it up in here and add it to the list of hash codes I have for medium greenhouse. Okay, so we got 2 medium greenhouses there. So now if I up this and I scrape that again, it should now tell me that it detected a possible pass for a medium greenhouse. Okay. Good. Now we should go and look at the other files because only one of these entries was an image, or at least my script could only figure out that one of them was an image. So we should look at the rest of them. So we'll have to do this manually. We'll start with 0. I should use flux capacitor for this. Okay, it's not base 64 because it's got equal signs in it. So, I'm wondering if this comes down to having to, I almost feel like I should have, kind of a pain in the ass because I need to do multiple things with this. I wish I had on-demand Deshaun encryption. I suppose that if I just said, like, if, no. What would be the best thing to do here? If I gave it like a target and args, the way that flux capacitor takes a target and args, then I could flux capacitor in the script and return the thing, and then I could do that one at a time instead of having to copy them all out like this. So I'm going to take this decrypt and I'm going to put it back here into my Deshaun script. I also need this. I'll just do that. And then we're going to do... What are we going to do here? Oh, I need the key, though. So I'm going to do if a dot key and... Whoops. Let's use ampersands here. What the hell is my problem? And a dot t and a dot g. So if I have all 3 of those parameters, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorrupt a.t, a.g, just we'll just let result equal this. Response, I guess. And then we'll do dSeanCrypt. What I should do, I should log the original response. And then I should dSeanCrypt the response with the A key. And I can log this, but I'm going to color this one with blue, which I think is P. And then return logs. Okay, let's give that a shot. What I should do is... Actually, I need to vault my stuff as well, because I don't want to nuke my upgrades here as part of this. So, do that. And I need mylib as well. Unvault. Up dSean. And now I should be able to dSean this. Probably macro this. dSean to be xiager.dSean. And we'll do target s dot 0. Whoa, hold on. dSean equals xiager.dSean s.0. G is going to be 1 and key will be 2. So it'll be script, pin and I, and then the key to decrypt with. I think that should do it. So if I do, okay, so if I come up to here and I do dSean this, that, and whatever the hell the key was, which I actually don't know because I didn't look. So I should probably do that. Oh no, I think it's up here. Hold on. I logged it. There it is. Ah. This. Put that like that. Error, parsing macro. Did I forget to specify arguments? 0, 1, 2 is T, G, and key. Did I do that right? 0, 1, and 2. I think I messed something up here. Error parsing macro. Dot dSean. T is scripter at 0. G is scripter at 1. Key is... Or G is 1 and key is 2. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, am I missing a trailing? There we go. I think that counts as a stupid typo, right? No! I think that does. Okay, so it just straight up failed to decrypt it. Oh, but my condition for decrypting... Yeah. So if any of them have, if there's an equal sign anywhere except for the last 2 padding characters, that means it's not base 64, so it counts it as failed. I suppose I could just log it anyway. So a bunch of these start with... well, I mean, some of these start with the... I should log the key as well while I'm doing this. Let me move this a tad here. Ugh. So a lot of these start with a very similar 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So seeing like 16 equals and then something is not surprising to see a lot of these in common. So this is the original, but none of these are base 64 because there's like equals signs suspended in the middle of them here. It just looks like junk, right? It looks like junk in its original form. And each one of these Deshawn cryptid modes or whatever look like junk too. The key could be wrong. Could be the wrong key for this for some reason. There could be another mode. I had this theory before to add... to add just the standard key, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as a potential mode. So, man, I'm lazy fingers today. No, it still doesn't do anything. It's still just junk. Now, one of our other hints was that there was only 8 modes. So I've added a 9th by doing that. Not great. Is it just junk? Do I have to Deshawn crypt it more than once? Whoops. Do I have to Deshawn crypt this? And do it for each one. So if that's the case, I'm going to want to clear out all this logging. This will do it forever. Because I'm doing recursion here, and I have no end condition. The end condition is success, but I have no way to bail if it's perpetual failures. So I could just try this and see if there's some number of repeat Deshawn encryptions that will give me, within the time limit anyway, of 5 seconds that we have to repeatedly Deshawn encrypt it. We should get a lot of cycles because we only call the script once to get the string, and then we'll run this repeating decryption attempt like many times. We'll be able to get through that in the 5 seconds. So if this times out, I suppose, while we're in here, I suppose I could add tracking in here to see how many loops we go down. So we can have an eye here. And we loop we increase it by 1 every time we go through. I so want to do that, plus plus I. And then we could log, at the end of this, we could log I. So we do dshawn crypt. If I go let I equals 1, I log I. That should tell us how many total loops were run. This is a huge shot in the dark. Maximum call stack size exceeded. So I'm going to take that as a no. That means that it recursed an excessive amount of time. Like, I don't know what. I could bail here. I can say if I is greater than 100, then we return this. I actually don't know what the stack limit is. If I is greater than 100, it's not greater than 100, it's 1. Huh? Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. If I is greater than 100, return failed to dshawn crypt. Otherwise, return dshawn crypt plus plus I, and that should not do anything else. Oh. I want to do this instead of this. Same as here, and do that. Actually, I don't even want to do that. I just had my, I think I had my recursion in the wrong spot. Rotated is not defined. No, I think I had it in the right spot. Oh, hold on. Getting confused. I want to dshawn crypt each entry. Oh, here's the problem. Each entry, I want to try dshawn crypting it once. So I can say, if I is greater than 3. So we'll do at most 3. Oh, this is like I'm creating a branch problem. Each attempt, each mode, decryption mode, is going to produce a failed result. So I'll have 8 failed results. And then each one of those, I'll attempt to do 8 more results on each one of those results. So I'm creating an exponential growth here. So I think I should just do 3. If it's less than or equal to 3, then I can do this part. Otherwise, I'll do nothing. So I'll do at most 3 exponential, like 3 generations on my tree. I think that's what I have to do. Again, not quite, because I was still only equal to 1. I think it's my return conditions because it'll know. I don't really know what the hell the problem is here. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what the fuck the problem is. Do I have to D-Sean encrypt it more than once, though, is really the real question here. And I would like for this to work. Would like for this to fucking work, please. Maybe if I force I++ here and then use I, is that going to be better? So it'll go 2, and I'll come in and do 3. Return D-Sean encrypt. Return D-Sean encrypt. That's not what I want either. I want a log D-Sean encrypt. Ugh. This is not a good day for me to be doing recursion. This didn't quite work either. It did it only 3 times. Why did it only do it 3 times? It should have done it 8 times. I don't think this method is written in a recursion friendly way. I think that's my problem. I think I'm gonna have to write it again. Okay. So I have a data. I rotate the data. This performs the Vignere rotation. Then I check for valid B64. If it's an image, I just write image detected, but I don't change anything. If it is valid B64, I return the rotated text. If it's not valid B64, I will increment my I. If the I is less than or equal to 3, I will then call D-Sean encrypt using the same key, but on the rotated text that was not valid B64. So the next result comes in here. It does the same thing, then it goes to 3, and it comes in here again. And it goes, it's not less than or equal to 3, so it's going to go failed to D-Sean encrypt, is going to get returned to the third one, which will log. And then it'll go failed to D-Sean encrypt, and it'll get logged to the second one. And it'll come back, and then it'll go failed to D-Sean encrypt out of the third one. But it should do that for each key string. You know what? Let me log this. That'll give me a better idea of what's actually happening here. This is stupid. I'm doing all this just to see. Okay, it did that. It did it 3 times. Why did it do it 3 times in a row? So what it should have done is it should have done 02461335. And that failed to produce a result. So under this, it should have done all 8 again. So this is not behaving correctly. I will have rotated come out of this. Then D-Sean encrypt it. because I'm sharing the value of I between each one of these. I think that's the problem. Well, why is it 1 though at the end of this? How do you do a pointer? Like this? How do we do a pointer to an integer instead of just an integer? You put it as an object, I guess. I don't think. This recursion thing. ID Sean Crypt. Fuck, forget this coloring bullshit. Forget logging this result if I'm going to be logging results inside here. Maybe I can just control the nesting of this. And I pass 0 into the first one? No. What I have to do is... for each key string, I need to have a new I value. If I equals 0, then I equals 1. Plus I. If I is less than or equal to 3. And on the first iteration, I pass in 0. And then this doesn't matter anymore. This is getting tricksy. A bit better. Still does this one 4 times. Why the hell is it 4 times? Maybe I should just do it once. Maybe I should just do it once. If I is less than or equal to 2. Ugh. I'm just confusing myself. Let j equals 0. If I equals 0, j equals 1. Then do j plus plus. J equals I plus 1. fuck, I can't control this. I can't control this because it's like a tree-based shit, and I don't feel like writing a tree-based algorithm right now. Okay. Fuck this. Okay, fuck this. Fuck that. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the way that it was before. And I'm just gonna manually do this shit because it's driving me fucking crazy. Okay, so we have 9 results here, I guess, because of this last one. So I'm just going to manually deshawn these, I think. Do I have something that deshawns from the... I don't. Else if a.data, then we're going to... deshawn crypt a.data a.key, and I don't need this I value anymore. If a.data and a.key return logs, so I should be able to then copy and paste these. I don't know, man. All right, so we're going to start. I'm going to clear my console. We're going to start with this. Okay, and I'm going to flush all of these. And I'm going to go into Notepad here. I'm going to grab each one of these results, and I'm going to deshawn them, or attempt to deshawn them. Data is going to be this. Actually, let's do key first. Fuck, what's the key? Helps if I spell deshawn properly, probably. Okay. None of these are base 64. There's too many equal signs. Too many equal signs everywhere. Okay, let's move to the next result that we got from the previous time. Damn it. None of those appear to be it either. I feel like I should be logging this as well, because it'll at least tell me if something came back. Yeah, because it'll return the results. I think that's important, especially if it is not an image. Ugh. Okay, so let's try this last one again. It says failed to deshawn crypt. Okay. Go and get the third original option, and we'll do the same thing. Failed to deshawn crypt. But it's like if I have to do it more than once, if I have to keep doing it, this would be a significant amount of effort that I would have to invest in this if I wanted to do the tree thing. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna do one more layer of this. Let's make sure I've copied this one. I'm just gonna do one round of this. So I'm gonna finish with the original group of results that, garbage results first, and see if any of those do anything before I start thinking about other stuff. Nothing there. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more. That includes the straight key mode, which I'm pretty sure is not valid anyway. Nothing there. Nothing there. 2 more. This is the one where, this is the mode that's all zeros. Nope. And then this one's going to be the straight key, which I'm fairly confident is not a real decryption mode. Yeah. So that's one level of recursion that we manually performed, and none of those gave us results. So yeah, it could be like I have to perform 4 before I see anything, or this could be a complete waste of time. Let's run the original again. What could these be? Could these be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is a multiple of 4, so it could be base 64. No. So it's not like split them by slashes or something. It could be split them by equals. So I could take this down to the first equal sign and see if that's something. No. So it's not like split one of the results. I mean, I guess it could be split any of these results. But I would imagine like, how do you know which one to split? Again, that's a wild guess. I don't know if any of them have anything to do with splitting on equal signs either. Oh, man. Oh, and I left the browser open. I don't know. Like, I see a double equals here, which is probably just a coincidence, but it's like the only place I've seen a double equals. Do I trim off the front and end of something here? JT799, does that show up somewhere else in here? JT799? DT71? There's too many equal signs like spread throughout here. Like Fuck. So if we perform... How far back was the last time we called this scraping script? So we can try going back to... I think it was core.priv, right? And I should be able to do key this, passphrase this, medium greenhouse. Son of a bitch. So that was the only image that showed up in this user's private script, and it's not a valid passphrase. Fuck. So if I really do this, I do passphrase, medium greenhouse, this doesn't work? Wow, that's bullshit. Oh, that was something else I found out. So if you remember the end of last stream, I was brute forcing all of the passphrases, and they weren't working. But when I used them manually, it did work. So it turns out that that's like appears to be something like that seemed to be real. There was no bug in my code. That if you brute force with the passphrases, it doesn't work, even if the valid passphrase is one of your options. So I think there's some kind of brute force protection on the passphrases. So you have to know the real passphrase. So I could also try all of these like one at a time, like medium black dog, medium black cat. Maybe this is the clue. If I find the passphrase, I'll know the image text behind it, right? Large white cat was one of them that we haven't actually seen the image text, so that would not be helpful. Large blue ball. Large red house. I actually don't know like any of these because they're not confirmed. Small brown house. Where did large, we did that. Did we do medium white dog? I don't think so. So like, is this a brute force problem where it's locking us out from the real one because of whatever brute force protection is in place? You could do brute force protection because you could keep a record of the user and the timestamp of their last failed attempt. And if they get a successful attempt within a certain amount of time of a failed attempt, fail them anyways. So that could really, that's actually rather easy to do, right? Just give someone a false negative on a correct password. I could implement something like that myself pretty easily. So that could be what's happening here, but I don't know what the time would be. So medium greenhouse is clearly not the right answer. So I don't know how long we would have to wait between attempts. And it's possible that the real answer is actually just not one that we've seen yet. It could be like large red ball or small red ball or something. So this might be a waste of time too. And that comes back to the original problem with the secret script. there was only one image that we could detect in there, and it was a medium green house, and yet that was not the passphrase. So one of the other secret script entries has to be the real passphrase, which means it is maybe in a non-JPEG. Nope, none of them were even B64 images. None of them were B64s. Fuck. None of them were even B64. We attempted one extra round of Deshawn encryption on each result, and none of those were B64 strings either. So possibilities are that we need more than one level, more than 2 rounds of Deshawn encryption in order to get base 64. Like, do we just keep going until we get base 64? I don't see how you could do that, because you have to stop at some point, or you end up with what we had the first time, and that's the call stack. I have to do a tree recursion. For the love of God. But I have to know how many attempts I should make until I have stopped trying. So this might be a bit easier to control. All right. Fuck it. Let's do this. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to make a separate recursive version of this so I don't fuck this up. Deshawn encrypt curse. I'm going to have a level depth, maybe. We're going to take all the layers. So what we're going to do is we're going to key up all the possibilities. So if we don't get base 64, we are going to do possibilities.push rotated. Whoops. Push rotated. Then we're going to get down here. And we're going to go if depth is... So we're going to get all the possible answers for this string. If the depth is less than 5, let's try 3. If the depth is less than 3, we will do, for each of those possible answers, we will Deshawn encrypt depth +1. If the result does not equal this, We will return the result. Each possibility will go into Deshawn Crypt and create another array of possibilities and loop through those possibilities with another further stage of depth until we get to 3, at which point these will start returning failed Deshawn Crypt. They will start returning up out of here. That should terminate. The recursion at 3 layers deep. So we'll start at 0. Start at 0 depth. I'm going to get rid of this. You know what? We'll keep that for now just in case. This gets us our hashes. Okay. So Deshawn Crypt recurse. If we find a real answer out of any of these, it'll return rotated, which will return failed to Deshawn Crypt, which will return something that's not failed to Deshawn Crypt, so that'll return out of this loop, which should return up out of the parent loop, and it should bail all the way up to the final answer. So this needs to be log this, and we have to go back to using the this. Okay. Otherwise we should get one failed to Deshawn Crypt message at the end of all of these trees, I think. I hate writing recursion. Okay. You know what I can do is I can log the key and I can log the depth. Try that. Up Deshawn. Can I access R before initialization? Where am I doing that? Oh, that's probably a problem though. Ah. I don't see anything logging the depth, which is what I was looking for. Did I pick the wrong color code? I think I might have picked the wrong color code. Hackmud colors. picked V. No, V should be giving me purple. Right? V. Depth. Do I see any purple? Okay, there's 0. Depth of 0. Huh. Something's still not working here. Fuck this image detected shit. Log the depth, log the key string. If depth is less than or 3, launch Deshawn Crypt again with a depth of +1. Come on now. I don't understand what the fuck is the problem here. Alright, I'm gonna do something risky. I'm gonna comment out my vaulting. Because I'm getting sick of fucking doing this. It looks like I ran a whole bunch of fucking times, but it only logged depth once and it was 0. So I'm not exactly quite sure what the fuck is going on here. Depth. For each one of these, I form up all of the possibles, right? That's what this thing's doing. Form up all of the possibles. If the depth is less than 3, it's 0. I go through each possible value. For each possible value, I Deshawn Crypt that possible value with the same key, and I increment the depth by 1, and I pass that through. That is then supposed to come in through here. I'm a stupid idiot. God damn it. Fuck. All right. Okay, that looks a bit better. It made it all the way to 3 and then stopped. Okay, that's a bit better. The recursion appears to be working properly now. So now I'm going to take that and that out, and I'm going to see. Okay. I don't know how, but within 3 generations, it did give me something that could be base 64 because it doesn't have an equals in it. But this could just be a coincidence. So we're going to go and check. No, it's just fucking garbage. Fuck. Maybe I should just log them? God. Maybe I should just log them? This is... Oh, it's going to create so much noise. Log every result? Fuck. What am I looking for? Images? Like, I could be looking for fucking anything. So what I could do to differentiate these is I could use the depth character as the color code, log anything that could be base 64. In fact, why even fucking bother? What I should do is if it's an image, right? If it's an image, say image detected and that. If it's not an image, then just from B64 it, because it's either valid plain text or it's not. Then I will push each possible that does not decode into something, or even if it does. So now I am no longer doing this. Yes, I am. That should still be fine, but I should get a hell of a lot more logging. Maybe. Okay. No images and a bunch of garbage. No images and a bunch of garbage. Okay, maybe I should go back to this. Are those all the same? What? What the fuck, man? I want to know what depth this is at. These must be very similar. There's no way they're identical. What's going on here? A couple of the possibilities ended up having a third depth child that's the same. 4 of them? That doesn't make any fucking sense. How could 4 of my possibilities... what the fuck? Hold on, let's go back here. Let's put both of these back in. I think this gave us too much feedback last time. Fuck. Fuck. All right. So I suppose I could take this Deshaun Crypt Recurse. I could increase this to 5. Yeah, that's going to take exponentially longer. Can I do 4? No, I just straight up don't have enough time to do more than 3 generations. Because it's just going to produce too many children. For that reason alone, I am disinclined to believe that I need repeat Deshaun encryption rotations to solve. So I don't think that that's the answer here. This could be throwing me for a loop. Hey, what was that? What was that thing? Actually, Saul had a suggestion before. The last time I see something like this, I should do large red herring, right? No. Small red herring. Medium red herring. Just red herring. What size are herrings? Are they a medium-sized fish? Small red fish? Medium red fish? Large red fish? No. Fuck. Fuck. So, like, deshoning is doing nothing for me here. That detects one image only, and the image is a medium greenhouse, and that passphrase does not work. That was from I0, I think. Because I can do this. Right, my Dishon encryption is still all fucked up doing all this stuff. You know what? Let's just try it with the other entries. Because why the hell not? I already got the code in place. A bunch of junk. Like... Wow, it produced a lot of garbage. Oh, it produced too much garbage. Okay, I gotta get, yeah, I gotta get rid of the recursion here. We got an ad coming in. So I'm gonna step away for like 2 minutes and use the bathroom and maybe hit myself in the head with a shovel. I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. Thank you for waiting. Okay. I think I just removed, I just removed the recursion. So now I want to, hold on. I want to put vault back as well. Okay. So this one did give me... That's interesting. What's this? Why did it give me this in front of it? I don't think I've seen that before. What is this? So it gave us garbage in front. How many characters long is this? $50. 50 is not a... Hold on. That's 50 pre... base 64. So the dark blue there is the base 64. So the first 50 characters of the base 64 were garbage. That means that there is potentially garbage in the front of some of these other things. Like, this is so misleading. This is very misleading. What does this string mean? With all these ones, does it mean anything or is it just trash? So many ones in it. Ah. $50 characters of junk in front of this one. Okay, well, we'll come back to that, I guess. This one came out as... What the hell? There it is again. Is that the exact same? No. It is not the exact same. 111 B1R1U AN1EG XK1 HIDGT1KP 1S1RRR 11111 UX. So the 11111 is where it stops. Is this an image? It can't be an image because it's not base 64 because it's got an equal and shit in it. So what the hell is this one? What was the original? This one's so large. Ah, damn it. That's not what I meant to do. It's not base 64. The original is not base 64. But it does come back with this. It looks image-ish, right? Because we've seen this before with the JPEGs. They have like series of single letter characters or repeated sections that have slashes. That's what the JPEGs look like. But this is not an image because it's not in base64 format. And this, up until here...
Hey,
oh,
buddy, welcome to the Chaos
Nucleosum. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. I appreciate that. Yeah, so like this up to the ones, there's something going on there. How long have I been working on the decryption? It's hard to say because sometimes I only put it a few hours a week toward it. But it's yeah, too long. Jorstar, have you figured it out yet, Mr. Smarty Pants? It has felt like it's been a long time though. Probably, you know, I could probably I could go back and look at YouTube to see when I first started, but probably it's probably been like a month, but again, like sometimes only 3 hours a week. So I would say maybe like 20, 30 hours is probably safe to say. So that is a lot though. That's still a lot. And I'm not the smartest guy in the room. So there are some things that I have knowledge gaps on, like image compression. I just don't know anything about image compression. So I'm just trying to look at like the things that I overlooked last time when I was doing JPEG stuff. So this was the one thing you thankfully never had to work on yourself. You were given some code to integrate to your own tools. You will freely admit you have no clue how anyone figured this out. Okay. That's fair. So I have had a couple hints because I'm okay with hints, but I don't want any spoilers though. I'm starting to question the wisdom of that decision because this is really starting to frustrate me. So what kind of hints have I had? So like, for example, one of the hints I had was that so when I was we were doing some generic like decryption, like reading about decryption techniques just in general. And one of the things that that the decryption stuff talks about is if you have a known plain text for part of the encrypted code, that can help you derive some of the encryption algorithm. And I was like, and I said on stream, but we don't have any plain text. And someone said, yes, you do. And I was like, what? So I started looking and I found this /9j/ thing. And someone said, that's part of your plain text. And so that was a pretty big hint that got me onto figuring out about some of these being JPEGs, because /9j/ is the plain text prefix, part of the plain text prefix for a base64 encoded JPEG. So that has let us do things like find some of these images, which are our passphrases. I think another hint that I had was that there are 8 decryption modes or decryption algorithms or patterns or whatever you want to call them. So we have since found all 8 of those, presumably. I'm doubting not the people that gave me that hint, but doubting the completeness of that, because there are still, like what we're looking at now on screen, this is the result of all of those decryption patterns, and none of them result in anything readable. So there is either more patterns, which I am leaning away from just because I trust the people in chat that have been giving me hints about there being 8. And I'm more likely to believe that there's either another format of data in here that's not base 64, or there's another step that we have to do after this in order to get something. I'm just not sure what. You will say you have the source code for something that has not failed that you're aware of, and there are indeed 8 different methods. Okay. So thank you, Nucleosum. So that does, you know, I think I've heard that from enough people now that, okay, there's only 8. So there's only 8. I'm doing 9, but the 9th one is just the standard pattern, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I don't know if that needs to be in there right now or not, but it doesn't really matter. It's just not going to hurt me. Yeah, so the thing I'm stuck on right now is just like, what are these seemingly garbage entries? This one doesn't look like garbage because you can kind of see like a repeating pattern in here, and like you can see kind of repeating patterns throughout, and previous experience has taught me that that is representative of an image of some kind. And we see this prefix. I'm wondering if I should just like look up this prefix because we've seen it twice pop up here. I guess I could look it up. I have a really hard time believing I'm going to get something meaningful out of this. I did not. So I'm not, that could be, this thing with all the ones in it though, that could be just an artifact of that decryption pattern. Which encryptions have I been able to get working? So what are you asking about specifically? Like when you're saying like which encryptions, do you mean like what files have I been able to decrypt, like what kind of content, or do you mean like out of those 8 different methods, which ones have I got to work? Have I successfully decrypted any entries yet? Yes. So unfortunately though, so I've successfully decrypted images like the one we just saw here, right? So this is an image located in a user's secret script. So I've successfully decoded those. I've successfully decrypted those. I've decrypted some plain text. I have successfully decrypted some of the calendar entries, like back in the corporation script, and some of the reviews as well. But the only ones that decrypt currently are either more calendar entries with nothing meaningful in them, or more reviews with, again, nothing meaningful in them. No locations in any of those. And both the reviews and the calendar entries, there are still ones that decrypt into what looks like garbage. And I'm highly suspicious of having so many garbage entries after my current decryption method that I'm starting to think that those are the locations. I have to do one more thing to them, or not do one thing to them, something like that. And I'm just I feel like I'm so close. There's another problem that I have too though, and that is I don't have all the passphrases. And so this user that we're looking at right now, like McFly, their script only contains a single JPEG that I can recognize with my current code, and it's of a medium green house. But medium green house is not the passphrase for this user. So either their passphrase is not always present, in which case, I don't know what the point. You would come here just for the key and then you don't care about the pictures, or can I show my passphrase code? So I don't. I had all the passphrases in an array, but I got. I mean, these are basically This is basically the passphrases that I am aware of, and whether or not I've seen them work. So like some of these images, like I saw a picture of a small blue car, but I haven't seen that passphrase get accepted yet, so I'm not sure if that's actually the correct passphrase. But these are all the ones that I have so far, and I'm not sure. Do I see any patterns in my recorded data? Yeah, for sure. There is either small, medium, or large, and then a color, and then an object of some kind, like a noun. So, house, ball, cat, dog. I don't see anything with letter A. So it's not like B, C, D, E, F, G, H or anything. And I don't know what all the colors are. So I'm trying to does a static list make sense to model a pattern? Like, certainly I could have like 3 parts, right? And have a list of 3 parts. The only problem is that brute forcing the passphrase was not giving me the correct result. So on Saturday, I had a passphrase of medium greenhouse that would be accepted for the user. I went in, I type it manually on the CLI, I get in to the reviews. But if I rotate through several in code, if I rotate through several incorrect passphrases and then medium greenhouse would fail. It almost looked like there was some kind of brute force protection. Am I familiar with the global reentry lock, aka #G? No, I have no idea what that is. #G. Is that a hackmud thing? I don't know what that is. Global reentry lock. Hackmud thing. No. I don't even recall seeing that in the scripting reference either. Is that in here? A per script global object starts out blank. You can add whatever properties you want. If your script is called multiple times in a single run, its G is persisted between those calls. This is useful to cache DB lookups that won't change in scripts that expect to be called many times. Starts out blank. Script is called multiple times in a single overall run. So that would be what's happening with me. Persisted between each of those calls. Very interesting for some of what I'm looking at. Okay, so what that means is my passphrase, and this is what I have it set up right now to do, is that the passphrases, I dump out the possible ones, and then for the next stage, I supply them one at a time instead of going through a loop. But still, the problem is that I only get one right now out of this user's secret script. It's medium greenhouse, and that one doesn't work. So one of my outstanding questions is, does the user's secret script or backup script always have their passphrase in it? I think that would be the first thing that I'm trying to figure out. I also don't have an entire list of all the passphrases, so it's like, do I just have to go and start farming more of them? Which might be an option. It's just as slow and boring. But I mean, I can do it. I've done more boring things. I'm wondering, there is a... Go back to look at that G. Where did it go? A per script global object. per script. Not, so I can't alter Can I alter the that can't be right? I can't look at that G myself, can I? That'd be insane. I could just log that G. You were the first person to actually solve passphrases, but you're probably not the first to actually solve passphrases because you did things the dumb way. And the dumb way was what made you successful. You know what they say, if it's stupid and it works, then it can't be that stupid, right? So, I am going to try something crazy here. There is a global object that's just called $G. Like, can I just do let GG equal $G? Does that work? I've never used this myself, and there's actually like several things that I would probably do better in my own personal scripts if I knew about this before. I guess it was right there in front of me and I just never paid attention to it. Okay, so let me... Oh, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. Just to see what's here. Maybe this doesn't even work. All right, so I want to change this to key and passphrase, I guess. Medium, whoops. Oh, geez, medium greenhouse. Hoist. No, $G is not defined. Is it $G? Does it have to be uppercase G? Oh, I forgot I have to keep the pin in there. Which was 5082. What? Oh, fuck. Right. I'm scraping the wrong script. Priv. Incorrect passphrase. So G is nothing. GG is got nothing in it. Fuck. What's going on here? I have a key, I have a passphrase. I want to log GG equals and then this. Why doesn't that do anything? Hackmud things are... Yeah, I'm using HSE. So one of the things that HSE does, it converts all the things that would have been pound to a $sign. Yeah, you can just ignore that stuff. It's the same thing. I am confused why this is not like log test. This is T3 scrape. What's a... If key and passphrase... I have a key. I have a passphrase. It's supposed to come in here. It's supposed to log test. What am I doing wrong? I'm saving it. You wrote all your crap in Sublime Text with no build chain. I don't know what Sublime Text means. Pin? I don't think I need pin for this branch of my code. So I need the pin for backing up the secret, for doing the backup script. Then if I have a key and a passphrase, I should be getting into this section here. And like the first thing that I should do is hitting test. So I don't really understand. Oh, I understand. I need to log the response. I need to return, just return logs here. Yeah, so it's got nothing in it. So I can only look at my own global object, and I can't look at the global object from subscripts. So if the subscript is setting something in there, I can't see it. But it's likely that the subscript is storing the passphrase in its global object, which is how it can tell in a single run that it's basically I get one attempt at the passphrase per script run. Similar to DB behavior. Shit, my DB usage is not very good. I mean, I could just do a dot f first. I don't know if that's good enough. Whoops. Close this. DB reference in a script uses the database of the owning user, not the calling user. So, I mean, you can just straight up tell me if what I'm trying to do is not going to work because of the way that G works. So seems, yes, that's kind of George Star. That's kind of what I was thinking too. Like the global object is, you put it in your script. It's your global object. Its lifetime is for the calling script, which you may not own, right? May not own, might not. It's a way for you to keep track of successive subscript calls to your script from another place. And once the parent script ends, the global object is disposed. It's owned and maintained by the script user I'm calling. I can't access the G that I'm trying to access. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. If there was a way to spy on it from the child script. I don't need a hint about that. A straight know what you're trying to do doesn't work is not how G works. That's perfectly okay, because I can stop wasting my time pursuing that. So I'm imagining, though, that the global object is how the corporation script is able to tell that I have already made a passphrase attempt and just locks me out from successive attempts. So that would explain like the brute force protection that I was seeing. I figured, actually it's funny because I figured that it was like keeping my timestamp in a database, but that makes way more sense because it cleans up after itself. So, okay. So that explains so what that does is that just validates that, yes, that brute force protection is real. So I need to know the passphrase. And we're kind of back to the original problem, and that is this user does not seem to have a passphrase. At least there is no passphrase that I can discern in here. If we go back to scraping their secret script, I only get medium green house, and that's not their passphrase. And I can't detect any other passphrases in there unless, again, we go back to this where we were looking at the individual records and we were seeing some things that looked image-ish in here with this prefix that we don't recognize. Can I dump the passphrase hint data? Can I dump it? Like, passphrase hint data. You mean this? This is just the passphrase and the hashes of images that I've seen so far. These are just hashes. They're nothing. I made them up. There's dog, ball, house, and cat, and car. I saw car only once for the first time on Saturday. You want to hint more, but you're not sure how? That's okay. And I have seen other people have similar problems in chat. I want to give you a hint, but I don't know how to give you a hint. This stuff's tough because just say you have 3 arrays. Yeah. So, yeah, like there would be an array of sizes, an array of colors, and an array of objects. But I don't want to have to brute force. I don't want to have to brute force the passphrases if I don't need to. If I'm supposed to go to the user's private script to get the passphrase, I want to make sure I'm doing that part properly, because the passphrase is not, I'm not fully stuck on the passphrase. For some users, I have a passphrase and it works, but then I don't get anything out of those either. So I think that my suspicion is that what I'm missing from passphrase stuff, like why I'm not able to get 100% hit rate on the passphrase, is the same reason why I'm not able to get user locations. I think it's like whatever step I'm missing in the hidden script is the same step I'm missing for the rest of it. Jorstar, you're looking at the code that you've been looking at, but the passphrase thing you see is different. The passphrase thing you see is different. Is different from what Nucleusum's describing with brute forcing 3 arrays. The way it calls it. Nucleusum, you think it'll be far, far, far easier to combinatoric things than trying to understand the image I'm looking at. It will be easier to find passphrases. I agree. So the only reason that I'm hesitant, like I don't have a problem if it comes down to like the only way to get the passphrases is to brute force them. I don't have a problem with doing it. Like I'm not like ethically opposed to that. My issue right now is that I am concerned that the piece that I'm missing about passphrases is knowledge that I need to know to finish this. That this is like the training for the last step of what I need to get the locations out of the corporation script. That's why I don't just want to be like, okay, let's just brute force passphrases, because I might be missing a hint that the game is giving me. Because using the JPEG images, the plain text was what I was able to use to reverse engineer all of those 8 algorithms. I was able to do that from the JPEGs. Jorstar, the code you're looking at looks brute force E, but calls it in a way you haven't seen before. I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out, is this a real thing? Because we saw this in front of the plain text. Is that another known plain text for us? Is this another known plain text the way that the JPEG prefix was a known plain text? Where did I put that? I put a JPEG thing here. How many characters is this, by the way? It's 54. Let equal this. It's 35. I was using this before to reverse engineer the decryption algorithms or modes. The passphrase hints, images, are likely the way to try to solve the decryption, because I know they're images. I will benefit from the decryption in other places. Yes. And I am using that decryption on the... I'm using the same decryption code on the encrypted calendar entries and for the users that I can get into the reviews page for the encrypted reviews. The problem is it doesn't always work there either. Sometimes it still just gives me garbage. And out of all the ones that work, they're just either more reviews or more calendar entries with no user locations in them. So I'm having I feel like the ones that don't work, that's where the locations are. But I don't know what to do to them instead or in addition to what I'm currently doing. I don't know what this last step is. I'm like so close. I've got the decryption algorithm. I've got the base 64 stuff. I've got like the passphrase thing mostly figured out. Like at least conceptually, I know what to do with the passphrases. But it's just like there's one more step. What do I do with those encryption entries in the calendar that aren't calendar entries? I go to decrypt them and it's just more garbage. What do I do with that? What are them? They must be user locations, right? Like, but I can't do known plain text on them because they could be an NPC location, which would follow a certain format, but they also could be a real user location, which do not follow a format. You can name your user whatever you want. So it's like, is this 111? Is a string that starts with 111? Is this a thing or is this an illusion? Do I have things I can assert should be an image but I can't decrypt? Not really. I just have things that don't decrypt and I'm not sure if they're an image or not. I'm suspecting this one we're looking at right now is an image because the patterns I see look kind of image-ish to me, just from having stared at JPEGs so much. It looks like an image, but none of the decryption modes, none of the 8 decryption modes, so this is the original string, none of the 8 modes turn this into a base 64 string, into a valid base 64 string. So I don't know what this is, and I can't get it to turn into something. That's why I'm like, I'm caught between, is this junk and it's just here to distract me? Or is it something that I'm missing? That's what I'm stuck on. I feel like if this is something that I'm missing and I solve this, I will then be able to go over to the corporation script and solve it. As far as you're aware, none of them are junk. Yeah, okay. So if that's true, Nucleusum, that means that I'm missing one more thing. Hopefully only one more thing. That means that I'm missing one thing. And I don't know what it is. This isn't a JPEG. Or it is a JPEG that's had something extra done to it, and I don't know what that is either. What have I not? It's possible I have to do my veneer rotation in reverse. I suppose that's something that we could try. I haven't tried that. Instead of rolling backward through the B64 alphabet, I could roll forward. So let me. I think that's what we're using right now. We're using Deshawn right now. My Deshawn. So I can make a reverse. Make a reverse script here. So let me copy this one as well. Call this reverse instead of recurse. We'll reverse all our conditions here. B64 chars will be plus. The key. If the key I, that's the same, that's the same. But if the new I is greater than 63, then we'll do new I minus equals the length. So if it's 64, we'll subtract 64 from it and it'll roll over to 0. That's all we have to do. So I can call this one instead. Is that what I was doing down here? Okay, so let's try this. We'll just try reversing it. Physics. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Is that a hint? Is that a hint or is that encouragement? Make sure that I am vaulting. I am vaulting. Maybe. I have some undefines in here. So that means that something went in the wrong direction. It went too far. If new I is greater than 63, because it's a 64th index, I make it equal to the length of the array, which is 64. So if new I is 64, I subtract 64 from it, and it should become 0. I think I had... I mean, this should be pretty easy because... should be able to see this. Damn it. There are some -1s in here. Now, why would I have a -1? If it's greater than 63, so the physics thing is a hint, first of all. I noticed that it did detect it as as B64, but so is it? Yeah, no, it would be so. If new I is 63, that should be fine because 63 will be the last letter. It'll be an equal sign. If it's greater than 63, that means it's 64 or higher. So it would have to be 64 minus equals 64, which would be 0, not minus 1. Rather than subtraction, what about modulus? Modulus. New I modulus equals... Yes. You feel mod is safer? I just want to understand, like, that might be true, but I want to know, like, I need to know. So this is kind of just like who I am as a person. If I broke something, I need to know how I broke it and why it's broken. That's just like a neuroses that I have. I'm just like, I can't just be like, I broke it. Oh, well, I'll do something different. I need to be like, why is it broken? Like, why do I have a -1? You understand? Okay, good. Especially when it's like, this is hobby stuff. Like if I were stuck on a problem at work or whatever for like 2 days and I'm not making any headway, I would pivot because I'm getting paid and I don't want to waste time. But nah, this is just for fun. Am I still having fun? Yeah, I'm still having fun. You're working on a project for 2+ years at work. Oh man. That's a really long time for any project. Are you in like game development or something? You don't hear of a whole lot of 2+ year projects anymore, outside of gaming anyway. Math and graph theory. What do you do, Nucleusum? You don't obviously you sell business cards. You're doing software development. You're oversimplifying. Oh, okay. Like some kind of design software that you work on. You don't have to tell me if you're like don't want to dox yourself or whatever. That's okay. I work in info security. So not encryption and stuff, but like safe data storage and breach detection and things like that. So I'm in a hackmud adjacent industry, which is kind of funny. All right, so this will equal the index of the character I want plus the index of whatever the key letter is. So this could be... I really don't understand. No, I'm doing it. I am doing it in reverse. What's the problem here? Deshaun Crypt reverse. All right, I think what I'll do here is I'll go if new I equals -1, which is less than 0. I'm gonna just log some additional stuff here. So we're gonna log. We're gonna log error. And then in here, we're going to put, I suppose I have to do it like this. I'm going to put new at I. I'm going to put B64 chars index of D. And I'm gonna put B64 index of this. All right, and then let's see what that gives us. This is Deshaun I'm working on, okay. All All right, we'll look at some of that in a second. Nucleusum, we model products that people can buy and print stuff on. Problem is, you have suppliers that can produce an effectively infinite number of SKUs. That's not good for a database, so you need to model it differently as a set of rules or constraints. What you've been working on is a way to determine if those rules and constraints have any internal conflicts with each other, and then sort them so there's no way to violate the overall Boolean algebra equation. Huh. Yeah, so instead of storing all possible permutations of options, you just want to store the options and then create logic to detect if that combination of options is valid or invalid, right? So that you can just let your users pick your options and then on the fly say, you can't do that set of options, instead of having to store every single option that they can choose. That is like an N tier problem. Yeah. I can see why that would take a while. Jurstar, you want to ask something, but you don't know if it'd be too much. You're conflicting yourself because you don't want to just spoil things either. So I feel like this is 40 plus 6, and it gave me -1. If you're worried that you might spoil it, then I would hold back for now, Jorstar, because I feel like I want to at least get this reverse Deshawn encryption direction thing working first before I start taking in additional potential spoilers. Tens of millions of rows in a spreadsheet compresses to 1 meg JSON. If that's done via user configuration, they can introduce a lot of internally conflicting data. 1 meg JSON. It's not even that big, honestly. 1 meg. Tens of millions of rows in a spreadsheet. That's a lot. So these are all 64. These are all border conditions, 64, 64, 64. So there's something funny happens with 64 specifically. B64 chars.length is supposed to be 64 characters long, but it seems to be thinking that it's 65 for some reason. Am I stupid? It's 65. I am stupid. I am a stupid, stupid man. I don't... Why is it? Why? I should have just put this. Is that my problem? Is that my stupid problem? There's more undefines in here. -1 plus 0. -1. So one of these characters was not found inside the thing? How did I have a character that wasn't inside my B64? God, could you scroll any slower? How did any of these characters not be B64 chars? Man, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. -1. How the hell did I get him? How the hell did I get B64 chars index of D? Ah, Jesus. Show me D as well. If A then B, if A then not B. That's like the kind of stuff that you're worried about being conflicting, like the different data in the rows or whatever. It should be B64 length -1. Length starts at 1, not 0. Oh. No, hold on. No, I know that. The length is 1 more than the size of the array. And the array is the array is, oh, that's not what I do to rotate through the keys though. Right? I don't have to do it like this. This got to be like this. It's the same thing I'm doing with the key because I rotate forward through the key as well. So this is just me being too tired and making stupid mistakes. The character's space. I have a space. I have a space in my string. Can't be right. Where the hell is there a space in here? The fuck? Oh, we got an ad coming up. Ah, man. I am not leaving for this ad. Because I want to figure out what this is. A stupid non-hackmud thing that I'm stuck on. This is just me being a stupid JavaScript noob and being tired and having a long day, and this is frustrating me. Why the hell would my D have a space in it? D. There are no spaces in here. This doesn't make any sense. Underscore. What the hell? Fuck. I think we're back from our ad break. So For some reason, this thing seems to think that there is an underscore in the data. And then I double check to tell me what the index of the underscore is in the data it's trying to decrypt, and it says it's at position 4. Makes no fucking sense. I am going to stop logging the key string. I'm going to stop logging the rotated text for the things I'm not rotating. I just want to see the original stuff. Like there are all these unprinted characters everywhere. What is this? Oh no. No. Okay, hold on. This isn't that bad. This isn't that bad. This is the first. This is okay. This is my bad. I'm an idiot, first of all. But second of all, this is not okay. Everything's fine. I know what the problem is here. So that when I built in the decorruption in here to start this work originally, like 20 minutes ago or however long ago it was, I forgot that I am now pushing the file directly into my decryption, and that I get a response here that's got friggin' fucking shit symbols in it. So I need the last one. I need to I just pop the last value off. That's what I want. Fuck. Okay. Okay. So I don't have any more errors now. I did all that for fucking nothing. I did all that for fucking nothing. I rotated forward instead of backward, and it still gave me nothing. They all failed. It's all just shit. It's all just shit. Decrypting in the forward direction did nothing. Nothing. Alright, Joestar, hit me. What was your thought? You had a thought, and you're like, maybe I'll spoil something by accident. Give me your thought. Went through all that pain just so that I could fucking do something as simple as going through it and rotating in the opposite direction. And I had all these dumb bugs I introduced to myself because I'm getting sloppy. And in the end, it did nothing. Nothing. Get rid of that one. I think I'm just creating noise. So going forward and backward, neither of them did anything. Can I show my method for forward backward? So we're looking at it. Here's the reverse, which is I add the index of the character and the index of the key together and rotate forward. I guess this isn't reverse, technically. It's just reverse of the other method that I have. Technically, I guess this one goes backwards. So I take the index of the letter and I subtract the index of the key letter. And I roll backward. Like backward, this should just, whatever. It doesn't matter. Forward, reverse. This is technically forward. This is reverse of forward, which is backward. Or whatever, I don't know. But they're identical, except I do a plus here. And this one I do a minus. Those are the only difference. Not all that crap I was fighting with about the boundary conditions. That's just boundary conditions. I mean, I could take the index of the key and subtract the index of the... Like, I do that instead, I guess. Like... Up. Might as well overwrite this one because I didn't do anything. But I mean, like, this is basically the same, right? I take the index of this and I subtract the index of D from it. I don't really see how that could be any different. The math should be the same. Yeah, it also does nothing. I think the math would just be the same. Anyway. So it's the difference between adding the indexes together or subtracting the indexes from each other. Neither of those return a result. Have I tested after my B64 decoding? So I haven't done any B64 at all because this decryption specifically checks to see if it's valid B64. So if it doesn't, it just reports failed to de-SHA encrypt. Now, if you're talking about like rotating it and then getting a value and then like doing the de-SHA encryption on that again, like de-SHA encrypting it more than once, I have tried that, and you very quickly, because you're creating a tree, and you very quickly fill up the call stack. I could only get three tiers down the tree, and there were too many children to complete in 5 seconds. You like my method names, but what you think I have implemented should be called add and subtract. That's fair. de-SHA encrypt. I could call this de-SHA encrypt underscore add. And I can call this de-SHA encrypt underscore subtract. But, regardless, the add does not work. My methods are named in a way that I approve of. This is a hint. You mean like de-SHA encrypt part? I just check to see if it's valid B64 when I rotate the keys. More or less, I check to see if it could be valid B64. Because if it has an equal sign anywhere that's not in the last two characters, that means it's definitely not B64. But I've had some false positives come back from this because they just happen to not have an equals sign, especially on the shorter results. So I'll get something back, but I'll B64 decode and it's still garbage. What were my method names? I had Deshawn Crypt and Deshawn Crypt reverse. Are you implying that I do one and then the other? Deshawn Crypt has an implied forward. Deshawn Crypt has an implied reverse. So the reverse of the reverse is forward. So I could just call this one add, if that makes it any easier, because the default one goes backwards. You hate add and subtract? All right. I mean, I could call the original one reverse, I guess. And just call this one Deshawn Crypt. You enjoy the method names that I have now. This is a hint. So this is Deshawn Crypt, even though it's not reverse. And this one is the reverse, but it's not the reverse. Is that what you're talking about? I'm going to be honest. So it's midnight where I am right now. I'm getting fucking tired as hell. So, I may not be as receptive to these hints as I normally would be. That doesn't mean that you have to hint harder. I think it just means that I'm getting close to having to call it. I think I want to try one thing here, and that is I want to try the net effect of this should be nothing, right? They should cancel each other out. If I Deshawn Crypt reverse the Deshawn Crypt, not recurse, Deshawn Crypt reverse the rotated one. Oh, I'm already in the reverse. If I get up here and instead of logging the rotated value, I log its Deshawn Crypt reversed. I'm starting to get confused. I'm confusing myself. Cannot read property 0, so that doesn't work. Oh, I've got to pass a key in. Son of a bitch. You sneaky little fucker. You little fuck. God. Fucking shit. It's the same. Okay. It's the same fucking picture, but okay. Is it the same? Or is the same visually? Well, I could hash it and check. That looks the same. That looks exactly the same. So it is the same, but identical text. Well, I'm dealing with 6,800 characters, so I'm not gonna. I mean, I could hash it, right? I could hash it here. If I recall it with no args, it should give me the hash code. Let me try that. Unvault, up Deshaun. Deshaun with no args. Can't read property key of null. Oh, fuck off, man. If A. Okay, are you happy? Stupid thing. If I have args, alright. So let's go see. Do I already have this hash code? In here. This was medium greenhouse. Yes, I do. So yes, it is identical. Oh yes, my browser is still visible. I'm getting bad at that. Your scripts start with if A, then A. Some of my scripts I actually have different behavior. If I supply no args. But that is a good idea. Right now, though, this Deshaun script is just a work script. So once I figure this out, this script goes goodbye. So that's good enough for now. So yes, to answer the question, it is the same as the other image that I saw in here, but that doesn't really matter because the thing is that we found out that sometimes we have to jiggle the handle, right? Jiggle the handle. Didn't work that way, so do it this way. Shake it. Give it a shake. So let's see if that works for the other ones that we had. Like, let's see if that works for one. It did. It just gave us a thing, though. So I'm imagining that I think this is where a slight modification here could save us a step. If it's an image, log image detected and return. Otherwise, return from base 64 rotated. So if it's not an image, it should attempt to base 64, decode it. Equal and opposite reaction. Yes. And that was a good hint for a smarter person. Because it makes perfect sense now. In retrospect. Makes perfect sense. I've just been working on this for too long. I think I put in the stream chat. I'm having a low mana day anyway today, so it's just... Fuck, that's still fucking garbage though. Is that because it's still fucking garbage? Same for you, Joestar? Yeah. Low mana days. Yuko-san, you've been writing JavaScript for work for too long with a linter. You see else return and think, oh, that else should be removed. I learned JavaScript basically for hackmud. I'm primarily a C# developer. So this is sloppy too, right? You just return. But doesn't matter because I didn't do what I wanted to. It didn't do what I wanted to. The Deshaun crypt. Oh, hold on a second. Did I miss something here? Return rotated. I don't actually think I returned the right thing now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, just hold on a second, everybody. My brain is about to tumble out the back of my head. You learned it for Screeps, then you applied that to hackmud and learned JS even better. 16K lines of code for Screeps, probably. 28K for hackmud. You have a problem. I've heard of Screeps, but I have not played Screeps. Okay, I'm going to just take this one. I'm going to manually decode it because I'm getting too tired to figure out how to do it. Tell me it's something. It's not. It's nothing. It's nothing. Do I have to do it the other way around? I have to do it in reverse and then do it in forward? I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. The problem, though, is that I can't do them both. I'll call Deshaun crypt reverse from here, and then I'll have Deshaun crypt reverse do this one, and I have to take this one out so I don't have an infinite loop, and then I'll log Deshaun crypt, and we'll see if this one works the other way around. Do it reverse and then do it forward. This is fucked. This is fucked. Again, it's just trash. I don't think that's going to end up being anything. It's not. It's still nothing. So doing it reverse and then doing it forward still gave nothing. Yeah, they're totally different strings, the end result. Screep is the game you had to make a rule. No code uploads after 10 p.m. because you woke up to a dead empire too many times. Oh. Never upload something at the end of the day. To save me some pain, you don't think I need to apply decryption twice? But we just saw that I had to do that for document 2 here, didn't I? I did it the other way around. And I got an image. But maybe I was looking at the wrong one. I don't know, man. Did I apply it twice or did I not apply it enough? I don't know. I think I'm done. My brain is toast. I need to go to bed. I have to work. I have to do more of this but get paid for it, I guess. I have to make money from programming tomorrow. Oh, you know what the worst thing is? I'm not going to be doing any programming tomorrow at work. I am going to be stuck on live production environment monitoring all day. And one of the other teams just had a huge deployment, so a bunch of our shit's going to break, and I'm going to have to fucking track down every single error so that I can say, yes, this is their fault, and then track down another one and go, yes, this is their fault. Do I at least get some fun dashboards? Not really. I have some dashboards that will help me, but a lot of it is like digging into logs and stuff. It's not fun. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to write myself a hint in here somewhere. We're going to go like this. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to steal this right out of here. This is what we're going to do. Just like that. Did I have to apply it twice? Or did I not just apply it enough? And hope that that is a sufficient enough hint Get me going. George Star, you got more documentation to do. You're still working on that, eh? That's rough. Nucleus, you wish more people would dig into logs, though. Too often it's your own team owns this service and it's being slow. Please fix. Yeah, like dependency chains are rough. Today there was a Microsoft outage, right? And all of our stuff relies on Microsoft things. So we were having like peculiar problems, intermittent problems. And it was like at the end of the day, it goes, I think this is Microsoft's problem. But it's hard to be sure because their problems were kind of spotty. It wasn't just like a solid outage. And those ones take up a lot of time because then you have to be like, okay, well, now I got to check a couple other things to make sure that it's not, that it is Microsoft before I open a ticket and say, hey, Microsoft, right? Because those things can cost money. And other times it's like, yeah, another team did something that caused us to fail and that's their fault or it's their problem to fix. But should we change our code a little bit more so that it doesn't break the next time they do something stupid, right? Or whatever. They have an outage or someone way up the pipeline has some kind of a problem, right? And they just pass the buck down until we break. It's tough. It's a delicate balance you have to strike. Joestar, you don't often dig into logs unless something fails and then your system goes down and you look at the last 50 lines of the crash thing. Yeah, so a problem is like we generate so many logs, it costs our company money. Just the logs costs the money. Like thousands and thousands of dollars a day just in logs. We generate a lot of shit. Nucleus, some years are at least a little clear. Some idiot runs a search index against your service and you jump like 10 times traffic. Yeah, that would be a problem. Use NFS for some of your processes, then NFS was slow. What's NFS? What's NFS? Need for speed. Use local storage. Yeah, I'm not familiar. NFS. Oh, network file system. Okay, yeah. No, ours is we generate like terabytes of logs daily. So we have ours, or we can generate terabytes of logs daily, but our logs also generate meaningful data for us. It's not just for monitoring. We have like a messaging based system. So we generate a bunch of logs. Some of those logs are used for identification of security flags or events, right? Other logs are like info level logs that are mostly just for the developer to track what's happening. Then we have dashboards that look at some of those logs and then pull statistics to show system health. And then we have other things to show like volume of data coming through our system. It is a lot. But the bad thing is that when something breaks, you're looking for like one needle in 10,000 haystacks. It's crazy. You killed a new relic log ingestion daemon because it logged too much. Yeah, like we had to cut back on our logging because it was costing the company too much money. So we had to you have to make some sacrifices at that point and decide like, what can we log and what can't we log? And can we log them in a different place or have them in a shorter term storage? Because not every log we need to keep for weeks, right? You have a rough idea of what your company pays to Microsoft? You would not like to have to pay that bill though. No way. Thankfully, we're one of the more efficient teams, so we don't often get told we're spending too much money. So that's good. Because you don't want someone to tell you you're spending too much money, because that usually means they're looking to pinch pennies, which happens, right, in this day and age. Stop logging so much, but we need to, or we don't have the info to identify problems. Yeah, and we've had that problem too, and sometimes it comes back like, why did it take you so long? Why did it take your team so long to figure out the source of this and that problem? And we go, because you made us cut a whole bunch of our logs, and we tried to tell you this is why we need the logs. So now you have to make the decision. Do you want to spend the money on the additional logging? Or do you want to spend the money on paying developers to investigate outages? The answer isn't have less outages, because some of those outages are Microsoft. If Microsoft's whole cloud system goes offline, they don't want to spend the money at all. Yep. But we don't give them that option. We say, close it all down then. Pack it in. We won software development. We're all done now. Lay off the developers and you don't know about programmatic logs. Yeah. It'd be like Boeing. Our planes keep getting broken and things keep going. People keep finding things wrong with our planes. Well, just fire everyone that keeps finding all these problems. They get rid of all their safety engineers. If Azure goes down, a lot of companies suffer. Yeah, absolutely. And it does happen. You know what? It happens pretty damn frequently, man. Like, we're a huge Microsoft shop. I wouldn't be surprised if we were in, like, the top 50. I wouldn't be surprised if my company was in the top 50 for volume of data going through Microsoft. And it goes down all the time, man. All the time. And sometimes you can tell that, like, Microsoft pushed an update at, like, 8 p.m. and then it broke something, and you can tell that they did it. It's so dumb how often they break their own stuff. That's why everyone's like, oh, Microsoft, they're big business. They never break it. And I'm like, they break things all the time. So much of our work is just like, when something breaks, to just like pause everything. Because we have a lot of like just throughput. Like data comes in one spot and then it's just like shuffled around, diverted, duplicated, stored in triplicate, or broken up and then reassembled and sent somewhere else, or any of that stuff. And a lot of the things that we have to do is when something in the pipeline breaks, just stop and just let things pile up. Instead of like everything just blowing up, just being like, hold on, I'm busy, something's wrong. Just try again, right? And then just like it just keeps trying until suddenly Microsoft comes back online. And then you have a big, huge backlog to work through. But at least like nothing actually exploded. We just have something saying like we have a big dashboard. There's a bunch of keep alives on it. So it just show like the service was down between these two periods of time or whatever. And then we just go, okay, but everything's up and running and you don't have to manually intervene to get things going again. There's just like a slowdown. But that took a lot of work to get all that stuff up. Anyhow. I think I have to get going to bed. You want the data to be behind in days in Azure? I think it depends on what you stored in Azure. But a lot of our stuff is in Azure and it's available in minutes. Some of it's available in seconds. I think it just depends what you do. And also Azure has performance tiers, right? So if you cheap out and you buy all the low level tiers services for Azure, then yeah, it can really slow you down. So you got to fork it. You got to fork all that money over. I think it's not worth it for a certain size of product and a certain volume of data. It's probably not worth the higher tiers, but even we have like some services that are prioritized and some that are deprioritized, and we don't pay as much for them because we don't need instant reactivity. Anyway, all right. Enough about that. Very interesting stuff, but I'm dying. Just sending data between data centers. I mean, latency. Yeah, certainly. Okay. Good talk. I gotta go to bed, seriously. Thank you for coming by and helping out. And I think like Raven and Resonate were around here earlier and they just went into the lurk. But I appreciate you two coming in and watching as well for however long you stayed around. I hope you both have a wonderful night. Nucleusum, thank you so much for coming in with a new follow. I appreciate that too, and for your help and your hints and everything. And I'm sure that this will make more sense when I think about it with a fresh brain. And I don't feel like, even though I feel super mad and tired, I don't feel discouraged. I just feel like Just feel like I'm almost there, man. So, and Jorstar, obviously, always appreciate seeing you in here. Thank you so much for the help too. Okay. I'm gonna be back on Thursday. Depending on how my week goes, Thursday I'm gonna say tentatively is not gonna be hackmud because I'm gonna have a nightmare on prod monitoring this week. It's gonna be terrible. So I'm probably not gonna be in the mood for the fighting with this kind of stuff. So Thursday's probably gonna be I don't know, something else. Maybe some Monster Hunter. I haven't played Monster Hunter in a while. At least now I know I shouldn't have trash output. Actually, yes. Exactly. None of this stuff is supposed to be trash. None of these files are supposed to be trash. That's a very good point, Jorstar. Thank you for the reminder. You're at the end of zone 2. You have 1 or 2 towns left. Oh, for once human. Yeah. Maybe some once human then Jorstar. On Thursday. Okay. On Saturday, though, we'll come back for coffee and code mornings again, and we'll pick up here Saturday morning. It'd probably be a little easier. We'll see. Okay. Thanks, everyone, for coming by. And I hope to see you all again soon. You can do the thing you just haven't. No, just do it. Just do it. Okay. I hope to see you all again soon. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for all your help. Thanks for the follows and the support and the encouragement. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week and that I see you again very soon. Be good to each other and yourselves and just be awesome. Keep being awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful night. I'll see y'all later. Bye.